Got another Melick Adventures collaboration. This time it's DuckTales, and we're going to talk about Carl Barks. So let's get cracking! Hello all my explorers, and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you're new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren, and I'm with Castlescapes and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We talk Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, The Muppets, 20th Century, National Geographic, Disney Plus, ABC, Hulu. If it's about Disney, we are talking about it. So if you like that kind of content, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Okay, so I'm part of another Melick Adventure collaboration. The Melicks put together a list of films that we would look at each, like twice a month, different films. And you can do anything you want around that particular film. So some people show their collections, some people draw, some people have a recipe or a drink or make ears. And in my case, I like to show some of the inspirations around the movies themselves. It could be artists, it could be art, it could be whatever, but I like to show the inspirations. If you ever wondered who wrote the mysteries that needed to be solved, or the history that needed to be written in DuckTales, the iconic anchor of the 1980s and 90s cartoon block Disney Afternoon, well, look no further than acclaimed comic book writer and artist Carl Barks. While we know Donald Duck came out of Walt Disney Animation Studios, all the rest of the Duckburg, as well as Duckburg itself, was created by Barks. He also co-created Huey, Dewey, and Louie, along with Al Taliaferro, in the Donald Duck animated short Donald's Nephews in 1938. In November 1935, after Walt Disney Animation Studios made a call for artists, Barks decided to apply and relocate to Los Angeles from rural Oregon. He was one of two in his class of trainees. Barks initially worked as an in-betweener who worked with the head animators who did key poses known as extremes. The in-betweener provided the drawings between the extremes. While an in-betweener, Barks also submitted gag ideas for animated shorts. He was so good at them that in 1937 he was transferred to the story department. His first story was the climax of Modern Inventions, in which a robot barber chair shaves Donald Duck's butt.
A little too hot, sir? I think we'll put the part right in the middle. This is the latest creation and should be very becoming to you, sir. Brings out your personality. Very, very snappy, sir. How's that, sir? There you are. You look like a new man.
In 1937, when Donald Duck became the star of his own series, a new unit was created for the new series. He collaborated on such cartoons as Donald's Nephews in 1938, Donald's Cousin Gus in 1939, Mr. Duck Steps Out in 1940, Timber in 1941, The Vanishing Pirate in 1942, and The Plastics Inventor in 1944. When Western Publishing and Dell Comics first got their license to produce comics with Disney characters, they went to the Disney Studios in Burbank to look through the archives for any unused material that could be printed. They found promise in an abandoned feature film called Morgan's Ghost about Mickey, Donald, and Goofy hunting for the lost treasure of historical pirate Henry Morgan. He hired Disney storyman Bob Karp to center the story around Donald and the nephews, and hired Jack Hanna and Barks to illustrate it. Barks was offered the job just as he was about to leave Disney to open a chicken farm in San Jacinto, California. He did not like the wartime culture at the studio and had sinus problems caused by the air conditioning. The first comic, Donald Duck Finds Pirate Gold, was published in Four Colors Comics number 9 and was a great success. Barks still left Disney to open his farm, but to make ends meet, he asked Western if more Donald Duck comics were needed. Western was so impressed that he became the company's sole Disney Duck writer. For the purposes of his stories, Barks changed the personalities of Donald and his nephews. Donald was not as angry and didn't fly off the handle as much as his cartoon counterpart. He was more of a neurotic every duck. The nephews had a solution for any problem through their Junior Woodchuck's guidebook. Then Barks created one of the most enduring characters in 1947's Christmas on Bear Mountain. Barks created the miserly Scrooge McDuck, whose first words snarled at readers were, "Here I sit in this big lonely dump, waiting for Christmas to pass. Bah! That silly season when everybody loves everybody else. A curse on it! Me, I'm different. Everybody hates me, and I hate everybody." As Scrooge's vast fortune would be a good way to tell future stories, Scrooge returned for 1948's The Old Castle's Secret, where he and his nephews search for a lost treasure in Clan McDuck's ancestral home of Dismal Downs in Scotland. The story, considered one of Barks' finest, worked so well that Scrooge began appearing more and more. By 1950, he became the main focus of Barks' tales over Donald, and in 1952, Uncle Scrooge was launched. From there, Barks created Duckburg and many of its lovable menagerie of ducks, such as Gladstone Gander, the Beagle Boys, the Junior Woodchucks, Gyro Gearloose, Cornelius Coot, Goldie O'Gilt, Flintheart Gomgold, John D. Rucker Duck, and Magica Dispel. He worked on the Ducks for the rest of his life with a multi-decade run of adventure stories, comedies, and gag strips in the pages of Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, Donald Duck, and Uncle Scrooge. While Walt Disney was always credited for the stories, fans were starting to recognize Barks' work. Initially, he became known as the Good Duck Artist. A fan named Malcolm Willits was the first to learn Barks' name, but two brothers named John and Bill Spicer became the first fans to contact Barks. After Barks received a 1960 visit from the Spicer brothers and Ron Leonard, he was no longer anonymous as his name spread through fanzines and conventions. DuckTales creator Jim Magan took inspiration from the much-loved and classic Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics, written and drawn by Barks. Throughout the show, 10 episodes credit him as the original story writer, which included Robot Robbers, Lost Crown of Genghis Khan, Earthquack, Micro Ducks from Outer Space, Back to the Klondike, Scrooge's Pet, The Golden Fleecing, The Status Seekers, The Land of Tralala, and The Unbreakable Bin. Additionally, the episodes Down and Out in Duckburg and The Curse of Castle McDuck are also based on Bark's stories, although he remains uncredited for them. While series key layout stylist Michael Perazza shared concept artists with him, Barks was actually never personally involved with DuckTales. According to Perazza, Barks was initially impressed with the show, but lost interest due to the large number of characters and complicated plots. Regardless, Bark's stamp and influence have left an indelible mark on DuckTales. Thank you to Carl Barks for creating a duck blur in the place where life is like a hurricane. So that's a little bit about Carl Barks. I hope that you learned a little bit of something about him. He is a legend, and I think that a lot of people don't realize where these stories came from in DuckTales. So leave me in the comments below. Do you have a favorite episode of DuckTales or favorite Carl Barks stories from the comic strips? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again to the Melicks for letting me be part of this collaboration, and all the other collaborators will be listed below, so definitely go and check them out. And if you enjoyed yourself, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post. This really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below, and visit our website at www.castlecapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye!